you know, his grandfather died, and then, you know, when his grandfather's roommates found out he's dead, like they stole his jewelries and stuff like that. Life is so hard, you know. Whew, okay, here we go. So 32 and 48. Remember, your maximum number is 38. So you can't go higher than that. So count backwards from there or make your guesses. Shalia said 8. Well, let's try. So 32 is 8 times 4. And so this is 32. And 48 is 8 times 6. But look at these two. 4 and 6 does have a number that can divide both of them. So they are not primes yet. So that means there's something bigger than 8 that we can use as an answer. Okay, so 8 is a good guess, but 4 and 6 are not primes yet. So you can still break down 4 into what? 2 times 2, right? Okay, so 2 times 2. And then you can still break down 16 into 2 times 3. Okay, so 8 is common. What else is common? 2, right? So what will be the common factor? It's going to be 8 times 2 is what? 16. So that's going to be the first answer. Very good, Anna. Let's keep going. Here we go. All right. 40, 10, 20. And don't feel so bad if you're not like, why can't I think of the answer right away? Even I can't. You know, I'm just, you know, counting backwards in my head. Okay, I know the smallest number is 10. I'll start from there. Oh, 10 can divide 40. 10 can also divide 20. Right? So you think we found the answer? If the smallest number can divide the others, then that's your GCF already. So the answer will be 10. Yeah? So always start with the smallest number given. Okay? 10 can divide 40. Then 10 can also divide 20. And definitely 10 can divide itself. So that's the greatest common factor. Greatest common divisor. Okay. And the reason why I didn't do the factor tree with you anymore is because your Delta Math kind of shows you what's in the factor tree. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on that one. Okay. Here we go. 48, 24, 16. Okay, so start with your smallest number, right? 16 can divide 48, but not 24. All right. Okay, so going back for those who are okay, if you're confused, so remember we have 48, 24, 16. We start finding the answer from the smallest number, like 16, yes? 16 times 3 is 48, but there's no number that we can multiply to 16 to go to get 24. So what are we going to do? We're going to count backwards from 16. Count backwards from 16. For some of us, it may be automatic, like you get it right away, that's good. But for some of us who don't get it right away, we're going to count backwards. Just keep counting backwards. 15, no. 14, no. 13, no. 12, 12 goes into both of them, right? Right? Because 12 times 2 is 24. What's 48? That's 12 times 4. Okay, so some of you answered 8. What do you guys think about 12? Which is bigger, 12 or 8? Okay, but 12 does not divide 16, right? So if 12 goes into both but not 16, then keep going. All right. So 11, nope. 10, nope. 9, no. Now we reach 8. 8 is 8 times 6. 24 is 8 times 3. And 16 is 8 times 2. So that means the greatest common factor is, you're right, it's 8. So remember, when you get a number that can divide the other two but not the smallest number, that's not a GCF either. So you have to be able to divide all of them. Okay. All right, let's submit that. All right. Okay, and again, if you know what, go ahead and keep going, you guys. I just don't want to leave some of your classmates behind. I'm just gonna explain this one more time. And if the counting backwards technique, go ahead. If you already know what you're doing, keep going. And if you can't do the backwards technique, you can do your factor tree, because I think that's what some of us saw in middle school, right? Like 8 times 2, yeah? And then this one is 4 times 2. This one is 2 times 2. So you're going to keep doing that for all of them. 24 is 8 times 3, 4 times 2, 2 times 2. And then last one is 48. You go 24 times 2, 8 times 3, 4 times 2, 2 times 2. So if you want to find the GCF, find a complete set. So that's 1, 2, right? Find another complete set. All right, that's another 2. Find another complete set. That's another 2. Can you find another pair or set? No, there's no more 2 in here. What about 3? There's a 3 here, but not there. So now you multiply them together. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. Yeah? So that's another method. You do the factor tree. Okay? It's a flaw-proof way of doing it, but it just takes time. So either that or you do the counting backwards. All right, let's try again. So did you guys move ahead? What's your answer here? Start by looking at the smaller number. Ooh, Anna got it already. The smaller number is 24. But 24 can divide 48, right, Anna? That's great. So that means if the smaller number can divide the other, that's the GCF already. Okay, that's great. Who moved on to the next one? 4 to 6 and 16. Okay, I'm now counting in my head. If I'm going to think aloud, 16, nope. And then I just count backwards. 15, 14, nope. 13, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, no, 5, no, 4, 3, 2. There you go. All right. The bottom line is if they're both even, maybe 2 or a multiple of 2, right? Now, sometimes they have none. So let's say, for example, I have 17 and 13. This is 17 times 1 and this is 13 times 1. So their only GCF is 1. That case, they're prime, right? They're relatively prime from each other. Okay, so that's another special case right there. Let's keep going. Here we go. Any other questions? Please feel free to send me a DM in the chat pod. Okay. 50, 42, and 30. Oh, that's a long stretch. I have to like start counting backwards from 30. Okay, well, let's see. 29, 28, da da da, da da da, 27, and so on. Until I hit what? Okay, I'm gonna count in my head. You write down the answer in the chat pod if you find it. I'm now counting from 25, 24, backwards, and so on. Did you get an answer? 2! Alright. So if there was no 42, I would say it's 10, right? But the 42 kind of messed the pattern up, so it's going to be 2. That's the only thing they have in common. Yeah, so that's the only disadvantage of counting backwards. If you start from 30, you're going to count backwards 30 times as well. Alright, here we go. Next. Ooh, 36, 34, and 22. 36, 24, and 22. Okay, count backwards. If the numbers though are like 50,000 or 20,000, well, definitely we're not going to count backwards, right? So that's when we will probably make a factor tree. 4, 2, 2. Okay, which is which? 4 doesn't go into 22. Okay, so I would go with 2. Yeah? Alright. Next. Oh, Emily got it already. 6. Okay, smallest is 6. 6 can divide 24. It's 6 times 4. 6 times 6 is also 36. Good job. All right. And Shalia said 6 also. Let's go. 24. What's that? 9. 24 and 9. 3, 3, 3. Okay, that's right. Yes, you're correct. And one more. 14. 14. Yeah, because 14 times 3 is 42, right? Many students answer 7. Oh, why did I put 17? Yeah, many students answer 7, but it's actually 14 because 14 times 3 is 42. Yep. Okay, so did you guys get a perfect score? That's like a giveaway 10 points. Make sure you guys finish that. Okay, you guys got that one? Okay, now you ready to play some Kahoot on that? Ready? Okay, let's play. Are you gonna play? Do you want to play? Okay, let's. All right. Anybody playing? All right. Waiting for players. I have an echo. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm going to send the link in the chat and here we go. Does that work? I didn't know you could share the chat, the link. All right. Any more? Okay, you can join anytime, yeah? You ready? Okay, the top 3 get Schoology badges. You're gonna get a badge in Schoology. If you see yourself in the top 3. Okay. So you better text me a screenshot or a picture. Uh-huh. Or just tell me who you are in the chat pod. Okay, ready? Game? Start. 40 and 48. 8, 7, 6, 5, 2. Okay, 5 seconds. I'll stop at 75. All right, skip. Ooh. Oh no. Okay, so correct answer is 8. Many of you answered 4. 4 is a factor, but it's not the greatest. Yep. Okay, and how can you tell that it's not the answer? If you go like 4 times 10 and 4 times 12, the 12 and the 10 can still be broken down. They still have a common factor, which is 2. So you take the 2 out and you multiply that 2 to the 4. That's how you get the 8. Yeah? Okay. So next. Aquatic possum. All right. Who's that? Okay. Let's see. Next. Ah! So cutie. Okay, skip. Oh, getting better at it. Okay. 5. Awesome. Next. Daring fox. Okay. Next. Some more. All right. 2 more. Time is up. Here we go. All right. And, oh, that's a lot. Only 3 got it right. Okay, so common distractor is 7. Oh yeah, 7 times 3 is 21, but it doesn't go into 40. So they don't have any common factor, do they? 7 times 3, this is what? 8 times 5, 4 times 2. So see, all their numbers are different. This is 2 times 2. So nope. All right, next. 60 and 72. Oh, that's cute. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh no. Okay, so 60 is what? 12 times 5. This is 12 times 6, right? And since 5 and 6 don't have anything in common anymore, then 12 is the answer. There's two 12? Oh, yeah, I did not even see that. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Here we go. Nimble hop. All right. All right. Next. 28 and 32. Ooh. That's Nemo and Dory. What's the name of the shark in that movie? Forgot. Oh, did I skip it? Or everybody answered? Okay. Next. Oh no! Glad emu. Next. 28 and 49. 28 and 49. 4, 3, 2. Well, you guys are fast. Okay, so 7. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 7 is 49. Still with, oh, just 54 points lead. Okay, here we go. Keep going. 12 and 36. Oh, that's a scary one. 5, 4, 3. Okay, skip. 12. Yeah, because 12 times 3 is 36, right? And still leading Glad Emu. Last two. Still the podium, you guys. Come on. Still the lead from Glad Emu. 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. That's great. Yep. No greatest common factor but 1, right? 15 times 3 is 5 times 3 is 15, and then 32 is what, 8 times 4? So they don't have any common factor but 1. Next. Ooh, looks like we can already predict who's gonna win. Unless, okay, last two, 16 and 24. 10 seconds. Oh, you guys answered that real quick. Oh my god! Let's go, Genius Goose. Alright. Okay. One last. One last. Alright. Time is up. And here we go. Okay, now you're going to reveal yourself. Who are you? Before we show the winners. Reveal yourself in the chat pod. Alright. Shalia is Genius Goose. What about the others? Who are you? Proud Owl for Anna. Who's Glad Emu? Silly Witty Duck. Mighty Hamster. What about the others? Louise is Glad Emu. Mighty Hamster. That's a cool one, Cesar. Alright, and the winners are... Here we go. So Louise on the third. Samantha on the second one. And Shalia on the first. Awesome. Okay, let's give you guys your awards. So period 3. Where's the badges? Badges. Here we go. I'm gonna give you, let's see, I want to give you the star performer. Alright, and then we're gonna give it to, where are they again? Louise G. Where's Louise G? Okay. Louise and then Samantha. And then the first place, Shalia. Alright, you guys, if you click on Schoology, if you click on your name, you would see like a badge over here. You see that one? Alright. Okay, good job, good job, good job. Alright, now let's move on. Alright. So, we will use what we learned about, greatest common factor to factor out polynomials. Okay? So, on this page, go ahead and find this page for me so I can, give you some extra credit points as well. Who wants extra credit? Who wants extra credit? No one? Alright. Cool. Okay, so on this page, you will see so many items. This is about 68, but we will be discussing some of them. So probably I'll give you only 50 extra points for this one. Okay? Yes, so this is 50 extra points. You have to, write it down on a piece of paper, take a picture of it. You can paste it here in OneNote, or you can just send it to me. All right. So let's get started. So you'll know how to do the extra credit. The extra credit is all about GCFs. Okay, but this time we're going to kind of ramp up our examples by showing GCFs of polynomials, not just numbers. Okay, you ready? So if you want GCF of expressions, pretty much you find the lowest power. Okay, lowest power. Yep. So for example, x2 and x6. What's the lower power? 2 or 6? 2 or 6? 2. So that's your answer already. That's a GCF. Is that easy? Just find the lower power. Okay, but now look, you have a number and a variable. So we just learned how to get the GCF, right? Of the numbers. So first, can you give me the GCF of the numbers? 2 and 12? What's the GCF of the numbers? 2. Very good. Now get the GCF. Very good. Now get the GCF of the variables by finding the lowest power. So what's the lower power of x? It's x. Perfect. So that's your GCF. So how do you find this? Easy, easy. So find the GCF of the number and then find the lowest power. One more. Let me try here. Number 9. What's the GCF of 14, 1, and 7? 1. Okay, so let's try 1. Now get the lowest power. What's the lowest power? X to the second power? Okay, but look. Does 1 have an x to the second power? 1x? No, this is actually 1x to the 0, right? So the lowest power is actually x to the 0. So what does that mean? Yeah, well, don't, I'm not going to complicate it further, but if the lowest power is x squared, but one guy doesn't have it, don't put it in the GCF. Because they all must have it for it to be a GCF. So then your answer will just be 1. Just 1. Because the middle one does not have an x. Okay, let's try 11. Can I do number 3? Okay. Well, I did number 3. I did. Right? I went downwards. Oh, 5. Okay. So I'm going to do 5 then. So there's no number. There's just 1, 1. So forget about that, right? Now look at the variables. There's 2 variables now. So get the lowest power of each variable. So what's the lowest power of u? For v, you're right. It's v1. What about for u? What's the lowest power for u? u2. Perfect. So that means your GCF is u2v. All right. Let's try 11. It has 2 variables also. 11. So give me the GCF of 28, 14, and 42. So what can divide 14, which can also divide 28, which can also divide 42? So remember what we learned? Start with a smaller number, 14. Shalia, 7 is a factor, but I don't think it's the greatest common factor. I think you need to count upward this time. Yep. You gotta give me an answer from 7 through 14. What did we say about 14 earlier? Yeah, very good, because 14 times 3 is 42, right? So 14 can divide 42 and 14 can also divide 28. So the numbers have a GCF of 14. Yep. Now what about the variables? Since there's 2 kinds of variables, you have to get the lower power for each variable. So what's the lower A power? What's the lowest A power? 2. Very good. Now what's the lowest B power? No B. Very good, Emily, because the middle one doesn't have a B. So in other words, you can't share something that you don't have. So if you don't have a B, then the GCF can't have a B either. Okay, so what if they look like this? There's a number outside, which I will call outliers, because they lie outside the parentheses. And now you have a binomial. Why are they called binomial again? Why is x plus 3 a binomial? There's two groups. Very good. So look at the binomials that they have in common. They're sharing that. So let's put x plus 3. What about the 2 and 3? Do the 2 and 3 have a GCF? Actually none, right? So just 2 times 1, 3 times 1. So pretty much it's just like pick and choose, like pick the binomial that they both share. For example, 15. So pick and choose. What do they have in common? What do you see in the first that you also see in the second? Like exactly. Can be a binomial if they're sharing a binomial. This just looks different because it doesn't have the parentheses. So what binomial do they have in common? What binomial do they have in common? 7x plus 5. Perfect. Okay, so that's the first kind of GCF. Yep, if you didn't get that part, don't worry because we have a lot of chances to learn it as we move forward. Okay, so did you copy this down or take a picture of it? Well, I'm screencasting it so you can also watch it later on. Okay, if we didn't learn from that first set, we can try again. Let's try these. It just looks different, but it's the same procedure. So let's see, for example, number 18. 5y, I'm doing number 18 over here, minus 5. It will just look different, like when you write down the answer, it will look different. How? So first, let's find the GCF. What's the GCF of 5y and a 5? So what can divide both of them? What can divide both 5y or 5 and negative 5? 5, very good. So we're going to write 5, yeah? But this time, it now has a plus or a minus in between. So what we're going to do, we will again put the remainder or the other factor inside the parentheses. So this time, if you're more visual and you need to like see what's going on, there you go. You will divide each of them by the GCF so you can figure out what the other factors are. So this 5 is the same as your GCF right here. Okay? So 5y divided by 5, this will cancel out. Yeah? So it's going to be y. And then negative 5 divided by 5 is negative 1. That's perfect. So the answer that's going to be y minus 1. Okay, so that's the only extra thing if they have already plus or minus in between. Okay, so earlier we were just finding the GCF. But now we're finding the GCF and we're trying to figure out the other factor. How do you know that you're right? How do you know that you're not messing up? You multiply it back. You see this one? 5 times y is 5y. And then 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. So that's how you know you get it right. Okay, let's try again. 20. 4x minus 28. So what can divide 4x and 28? Meaning, what's the GCF of 4 and 28? 4, okay. 4, 4. All right, so now you write down your GCF and then put the other factors in parentheses. What will it be? 4 divided by 4, you're left with, or tell me, what's the answer here? If you divide each of them by 4. Cancel the 4 here. What are you left with? X. Perfect. And then 28 divided by 4 is negative 7. That's awesome. Okay. All right. So if you did not get the first two, don't worry because there's really no, one way of doing it. Every example is different. Yeah. So don't feel bad. you have like 68 more attempts to try to get it. So don't give up. All right, let's try again. What can divide 4 and 12? 4. Okay, there you go. And whatever same number you came up with, you're going to put it in here. 4. Okay, now all you need to do is divide 1 by 1. 4 divided by 4, and then you multiply it by u, so that's u. And then 12 divided by 4 again, that's 3, but it's negative in the middle. There you go. Okay, let's try something more challenging. Can you pick one from the even numbers? What did you want me to do? Pick one from the even numbers. Which one seems like challenging for you? Anyone? Pick a number. Anyone? Pick a number from the even ones right here that we will do together. 40. Let's go, 40. All right. So 9 minus 3y minus 15y squared. Okay. So what can divide 9, 3, and 15? Oh, wait, you get it? It's okay. All right, so divide by 3. Maybe some of us don't get it, so I'll show it still. Okay, so I'm going to put the 3 over here. Sometimes if you arrange them vertically, it's kind of nicer because they line up and you kind of know what you're dividing. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. Perfect. And then minus, so bring down the minus sign. They will cancel. You get y. Perfect. And then 15 divided by 3. Bring down the minus sign. 5. And then just bring down the y squared. There you go. Yeah? Okay, let's try 52. 52 has like multiple variables. Okay, let's try 52. 4xy plus 8x squared y minus 24x4 y5. Man, that's a lot. Okay, let's see. What can divide the numbers? 4, 8, 24. The smallest is 4. I thought you were supposed to change y. Where? Cancel y where? Here? No, there's no y at the bottom, honey, so I had to bring it down. And then there's no y at the bottom, so I had to bring it down. Does that make sense? You can only cancel them if there's one on top and one at the bottom. Okay. Going back here. So what can divide 4, 8, and 24? 4. Very good. Now look at the variables this time. All of them have variables. Well, here 9 didn't have a variable, so I didn't ask you that. But all of them have variables. So now you're going to find the lower power of each variable. So what's the lower power of x in all of them? What's the lowest power of x? Which form? Okay, x2. But I don't have 2. I only have 1. So the lower power is 1, right? So 4x, 4x, 4x. Next, what about the y's? What's the lowest power of y? 1. Very good. So that I can also divide everything by y. So that's the case when they all have variables now. So let's write down the answer. Our GCF is 4xy because that's what we're dividing each one of them by. So now 4 divided by 4, cancel. X divided by x, cancel. Y divided by y, that's when you can cancel. So that's 1, right? That's 1. You don't put 0, it's going to be 1. Plus 8 divided by 4, that's 2. And look here, you have x2 on top x1 at the bottom. What's the remainder? What's x2 divided by x? What's x2 divided by x? It's like you have two x's on top and you have one x at the bottom. So now you're crossing out one x on top and one x at the bottom, right? We're not on the 6 yet though. Not yet. We're still here. X squared divided by x is x, right? Because x2 and x1 at the bottom, you subtract the exponent, so x to the first power. The y's will cancel because they're gone, right? Okay, next here, minus 24 divided by 4, that's where your 6 comes in. Okay, now you have to subtract the exponents. x2 divided by x1, what's your answer? x2 divided by x1, what's the answer? You're subtracting the exponents. Imagine there's 2 on top and there's 1 at the bottom, so how many x left? x1, very good. y5 and y1, subtract the exponents. Subtract the exponents. 4, very good. So y to the 4th. So this will be your final answer. This will be your final answer. All of these. Alright? That was a lot. Yeah, but remember we keep doing the same thing, okay? So get the GCF of the number. Get the lower power. Alright? Okay. Now I just want to be able to show you how to do all of the extra credits. So that's the second set. And this is not due until next week. So don't think you're going to do all of these overnight, okay? Yeah, so it's due next week. Alright, and it's optional. It's extra credit. So don't say, oh, Miss Arciaga gave me 100 bunch of problems to do. This is extra credit. It's optional. I know you're busy, so I just want to give some of you a chance to pull your grades up. Okay, this time we're going to practice how to factor out a positive GCF and a negative GCF. Okay, so let's try 53. Because GCF has a lot of, possibilities. So I'm just trying to kind of show you each type. So suppose I want to factor out a positive GCF. So what positive number can divide both of them? What positive number can divide both of them? 5. Very good. Okay, so let's divide each of them by 5. Okay, so then the GCF is 5. What's the leftover? What's 5 divided by 5? 1. What's negative 10 divided by 5? Negative 2x. Perfect. Now that same one, okay, 5 minus 10x can also be divided by a negative 5. So that's what this set is asking you to do, to practice doing a positive and to practice doing a negative. So if that's negative, right, so we write negative 5 in front, how will that change your answer? What's positive 5 divided by negative 5? What's positive 5 divided by negative 5? Negative 1, very good. And then what's negative 10 divided by negative 5? Would it be negative, Louise? Because negative times negative is positive 2. There you go, and then bring down the x. So see how they're different? If the GCF is positive, this is 1 minus 2x. But if the GCF is negative, it's going to be negative 1 plus 2x. So they're quite the opposite, right? But in number 57 and 56, it says, you see those asterisks on top? It says the only positive common factor is 1. So for these problems, just do the second part by factoring out a negative 1. So in other words, we're just going to divide them by a negative. and not show the other part, plus 10. Okay, so it's asking us to divide each one by -1. Okay, let's divide by -1. Okay, so then our GCF is -1. Can you guys help me divide? Negative divided by negative will be positive x squared. Very good. And bring down the power because there's no x at the bottom. Positive divided by negative will become positive divided by negative will become -5. Very good. Don't forget the x though. Yeah. So this is like, yeah, these are friends. Don't separate them. They gotta be together. All right. Then this one, positive divided by negative is -10. There you go. All right. Okay, so that's the third type that you will practice on. Okay, and here's the third one, the last one. Excuse me. So you will see a common binomial. So let me do 61 over here. X minus 3 plus 5, x minus 3. So now, since x and 5 don't have any GCF anymore, you're going to look at the binomials. Binomials. They're called binomials because they have two, right? You guys said it earlier. So you're going to bring down the common binomial. Bring it down only once. Only once. So x minus 3, right? And then you just have to put the outliers together. Just put the outliers together. X minus 5. Or plus 5 rather. Okay. And that's the final answer. You don't have to do anything. You just have to bring down their common factor, which is x minus 3. That's your GCF. It's a binomial. And then you put the outliers together. Okay? But what if, look at number 68. 68 they look the same, but not quite. Minus 4, y minus x. Look, this is x minus y. This is y minus x. Yeah? So that doesn't match. Yeah? So how are we going to make them match? How are we going to make them match? So how do I make the y minus x the same as x minus y? What you're going to do is you flip them around. You flip them around, and then you change the sign outside. So that will become -4, right? You flip the sign of negative and change it to positive, yeah? And then you flip this to around, so x, right? And then you change the sign of y, it's going to become -y. So pretty much you're changing the signs inside the parentheses. So change sign, you flip them. -x became positive x, y became -y, but since you had to change the sign there, you also have to change the sign outside for the 4. So it will become y squared times x minus y plus 4 times x minus y. So why was that possible? Because it's like you're dividing both of them by -1. Okay, so if you factor out or divide here by -1, the negative gets multiplied to the 4. So the shortcut is you flip all their signs, pretty much. Okay. So before we go, let me just finish this. You bring down the common binomial, which is x minus y. And last but not the least, you put the outliers together, which is the y squared plus 4. Okay, so that page will be extra credit. It's optional. You don't have to do it. But for some of you who are kind of, who are trying to kind of pull their grades up, this is like a lot of points to help you out. Okay, did you guys sign in? If you did it, I have to take a picture of the participants list before you go. Give me one quick second. Okay, and another one, I just have to scroll it down before you log out. And all right, I took a picture. Okay. All right, so thank you for joining me today. Oh, my Wi-Fi worked today. I'm happy. All right, bye everybody. Regards to your families. Let me know if there's anything else I can help you, okay? If there's anything else I can help you with. Bye. Be safe. Bye everyone.